What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. We're going to dive into some recent news, and I hope you enjoy. So quickly, just looking at the Bitcoin monthly, want to give a moment of silence, a moment of gratitude to see Bitcoin at a new all-time price over 93,000. So compared to the previous cycles, we are drawing another cup with the Bitcoin monthly RSI, or the momentum. Absolutely want to cross through this level of like 76, 77 to really run, but looking great. And just turning the lights on, we can see for this monthly candle body, this still has to close in a little over 11 days. But for this first major move, which is what I call when we get the first full monthly candle body going over the previous cycle top, as we can see. So if I turn the lights off, we can see the opening of this monthly candle body was over the previous cycle top. So that's good to see because that is similar to the previous cycles. This one was very close to the cycle top. This full monthly candle body was completely over it. And then even back in 2013, completely over it. So if history rhymes with the previous 3 cycles after their first major move, and we run historically for 200 to 300 days up until finding our cycle top, so that would be absolutely amazing. And going down to the daily time frame, this is where it gets a little subjective because you could, measure from here and see when we actually broke past that level looking at the full daily candle bodies, but really we have been running for just 12 days. And looking at last cycle on the daily, we can see just drawing some waves up and down, and then we'll also go back to 2017 just to take a look at this bad boy, and we can see just multiple waves being drawn. And Bitcoin dominance still hasn't crashed yet, so we can see that we are just over 60% whenever we find our top, wherever we find our top, and we start seeing that first sizable drop of 5, 10, 15%, then I believe that volatility excitement is going to go up a lot. Alright, let's dive into some news. So if you haven't seen this already, the Coinbase 50 Index, or Coin 50, a whole new way to track the performance of the crypto economy. So this is a benchmark representing the top 50 eligible digital assets all in one easy to follow index. So right on coinbase.com/coin50, we can see the Coin 50 Index is over $400. We can click right here, track the market. And here we can scroll down and look at the components as soon as I find it. So top components, and we can see the 50 assets listed. So Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, a variety. We'll click show all and just scroll through these really quick. So we got Hedera, Polygon, Bonk, ASI, which is still keeping the ticker FET for Fetch for now. Render, Stacks, VeChain, Cosmos, a variety of assets. The Graph, Quant. We have Helium, Zcash, Chiliz, Ape, Synthetics, Oasis Network, or Rose. We have Curve, Comp. We also have Algorand. I'm not sure if I missed that one. So we can see the weights of these 50 assets that they assign to this index. So Bitcoin is over 50%, ETH is over 20%, Solana is almost 7%, XRP is over 3%, and we can see all of these assets. So all of these assets listed have gone through a big vetting process. As they say right here, meeting a rigorous vetting process that evaluates the assets against strict legal, compliance, and security standards. And this Coin 50 is going to be a perp future, but only in select jurisdictions outside of the US, UK, and Canada. Alright, next up, shared by the company Ripple. So they're excited to announce the purchase of sustainable aviation fuel certificates through their partner Watershed as part of Ripple's commitment to achieving net zero carbon by 2030. The investment will add sustainable aviation fuel to Alaska Air passenger flights while offsetting our travel emissions. They have the article right here on watershed.com in the blog. This was also a Bloomberg article, and we can see BlackRock, BlockFund, major sustainable aviation fuel deal, companies along with Samsara or Samsara and Ripple. So all these companies are participating in a deal that will provide clean jet fuel to Alaska Airlines. And we can see right here, leading to an estimated 75% reduction in carbon intensity relative to conventional jet fuel. So I'll have to dive more into this, but very cool to see some of these customers listed, very large companies, BlackRock, Ripple, and more, all dealing with these SAFCs, or Sustainable Aviation Fuel Certificates, and we'll keep tabs on SABA, or SABA, the Sustainable Aviation Buyers Alliance. So looking at SABA, we can click About and just look at some of their members. So they have already a bunch of large companies. Amazon, as we can see, Bank of America. We have Bain & Company, Google, Netflix, Microsoft. We have Meta, JP Morgan. There's Watershed. So really cool. We can also see members include Alaska Airlines. And I'm wondering if there's going to be, other crypto projects or other crypto companies involved. Because remember a while back when EnergyWeb got a shout out from BlackRock. Alright, super quick for PEAQ Network. So we've discussed this project this year, and it's funny that they did delay their launch, and I said if I was PEAQ, I would want to launch during Bitcoin's first major move. So they delayed their launch in September, October, and they finally launched in November when Bitcoin is creating all-time highs. So they have a really good website and it explains everything in detail. You can even go to their page and go to learn and look at their ecosystem, vision, list of use cases, explaining the token, and looking at all of these types of DePIN use cases. And in terms of a layer 1 built specifically for DePIN or decentralized physical infrastructure networks, PEAQ has it. It has the big backing, applications being built, and everything. So a lot of good information on the website. I'll be keeping tabs on this. The one concern that some people may not like is this is heavily backed by a lot of VCs with undisclosed amounts. So they have Borderless Capital, DWF Labs, Animoca, Animoca Brands. And some might see this and say no thanks, but if there is success with PEAQ, I mean, I could see $10 billion, $50 billion market cap. We have no idea. So I'll be keeping tabs on this, and this might be a stupid decision on my end, but after a project launches, I usually wait for it to cool off a bit, so I'm just kind of waiting. If it took off sooner, maybe I'd be tempted to FOMO in, but just keeping tabs. And PEAQ hasn't even been around for even a week, as we can see, not even 7 days, so I'm just kind of waiting. Of course, we could look at, other fractals of different assets, but when Solana was here, it was under $100 million. Whereas PEAQ's market cap is already a lot bigger today, even its fully diluted value, I think, is closer to $1 billion or even higher. So we can see right here on docs.peaq.network, you can see the token unlocks and the circulating supply. So we can see all the upcoming releases over the coming months and the overall inflation for this one. This will be more of a higher cap asset, but something I'm keeping tabs on. And they also better not change the tokenomics for Crest, because compared to over a $4 billion total supply as this grows, Crest's original tokenomics that I used to be able to pull up were only 400 million, and it was the max supply. There was no inflation, so it was a lot more scarce. But now when I look for Crest tokenomics, and I'll just type it right here so you guys can see, I used to look at this all the time, clicking either of these, and the page isn't found. I can still see Crest on Subscan, so this is the Canary network for PEAQ, but I just want to see why their tokenomics document has been removed. Are they changing anything? What's going on? Because I was hoping, and still am hoping, to be able to speculate on Crest a little bit this cycle, and looking at news, they haven't said too much besides the reward calculator for the airdrops, but this was back in May, saying Crest will continue to play its important role as a live production-grade environment for PEAQ and its DePINs, but it will do so in a bigger and far more exciting way. It's always been the testing and simulation network for PEAQ. If PEAQ is the home of DePIN, Crest is the testing grounds for both the foundations of PEAQ and the applications that run on it. So just like Kusama is a canary network for Polkadot, this is a live network. It's not necessarily a test network, but it's a live network where you can actually experiment. So this is a microcap and really dependent on people really stress testing a lot of applications on Crest before going to PEAQ. So hopefully all of this is still valid, and this is back in May. I just haven't seen any recent updates. And we can see this ecosystem grant program by the PEAQ Foundation will require the project to stake a certain amount of Crest. Some of these tokens will be used to reward the people joining campaigns as testers and connecting their devices with Crest. So here we have some level of demand for Crest in the future as PEAQ develops. So really just think of it like Kusama and Polkadot, just think Crest and PEAQ. So PEAQ is the layer 1 network, the main net. This is the one that has the potential to have, much higher valuations in terms of market cap. But it also has a much larger supply, and last I checked, I hope they don't change the tokenomics for Crest at a max cap supply of 400 million, so it's far less, but it's riskier. Because the thing about Canary networks is this, there will also be penetration testing or pen testing and security campaigns following a similar approach to that detailed above. Since much of what is launched on PEAQ is tested on Crest first, PEAQ is in the rare but fortunate position of being able to have its Canary network attacked first, while live. And this has already happened before. Malicious actors have attacked the Crest network and allowed us to learn and make upgrades ahead of the PEAQ network launch. So I hold a little Crest today, and the entire time I'm aware of the risk I'm taking as a microcap for a Canary network. So anyways, I just wanted to rant a little bit about PEAQ network and Crest network. This is not financial advice. Crypto, nothing is guaranteed. You can lose your entire investment, but I'm just speculating and sharing my thoughts. I guess what I want to understand is this. We can see the circulating supply at time of launch, month 0 and month 1, even month 1, is 422 million. When I go to peaq.subscan.io, we can see right here, stake bonded, circulating supply, and total issuance. Why is the circulating supply so much bigger? This says 836 million. 836 million is almost 6.5 months after launch, so what's going on? So I'm not trying to bash anything, I'm just genuinely curious, so if you guys can correct me with anything or any links that maybe I'm using that are incorrect, please let me know. I just want to know if this is in fact the circulating supply, and why is this so much bigger than what PEAQ has listed on their unlock schedule. The project is really cool. We know that they are tied to this $100 million DePIN fund as well. And I love their website. They have a list of different decentralized applications. You can look at all of these use cases. We can see a grant program, enterprises, integrations, different tools. I just still have a few questions. So maybe I'm just reading this wrong, but just showing the circulating supply, we can see the amount of stake bonded, and I just thought that the circulating supply at launch was supposed to be significantly smaller. So if there's a different link that accurately shows it, or this is it, please let me know. So for example, we have 25 cents per token today, multiplied by the total issuance of 420 billion. That is a fully diluted market cap of over $1 billion. Now, if we took this price today and multiplied it by the correct circulating supply, whether it's 300 million, 400 million, or 800 million, over 800 million per circulating supply would be over a $200 million market cap. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.